Hey, it's Brock here from Rock Hill Farms. Today we're gonna dig a big hole and see if we can bury some stuff. I've got a bunch of junk wood here. I had a couple people ask me, said they had some rounds that were just too big to split. Can we bring them over? I thought, yeah, I'll split those up. Well, I'm not feeling it. I think I'm gonna end up burning those. Then I've got a massive amount of sawdust blowing out of the shop that needs dealt with. I've got a burn pit that the ashes need to be emptied out of. If you can hear that wind whipping, we've got about 50-mile-an-hour winds today. Could hit as high as 70 miles an hour. I was supposed to remove a couple trees and a section of fence for a customer today. I said I don't think I want to do it with this wind like it is. So I'm gonna take the backhoe down, do some digging, and first I'll show you some of the stuff we've got to get rid of. As far as junk wood, you can see right here is a light pole. Actually, we had some of the stadium lights for a ball field fell, and I had to clean those up, and I've got another one I've got to go get. Then if you look over here, some of this is giant rounds that someone else dropped off here, and they've got knots and splits and everything in them, and I don't think I want to deal with it. I'll split some of this, but not all of it. Right here is our burn bin, and all we burn in there is wood scraps out of the wood shop and cardboard. But it's about full and I need a place to empty it. And if you look over here, this is where the sawdust comes out of the dust collection system in the shop. I'll show you what we've got going on with that, and I'll see if you guys had any advice for a better way for us to process this sawdust. For a long time, we had individual dust collectors on each tool here in the shop. And keep in mind, you know, these saws are running like 20 to 30 to 40 hours a week, depending on if it's our busy season or not. This is constant production in here. And we had individual dust collectors on each saw. And that was a big hassle because we would have to set aside space for the dust collectors. And then when the bags got full, we have to drag the bags out of here. It was difficult to get a new bag on. Just a big hassle dealing with all that dust collection. The new plan we came up with is to port it out through the wall. That seemed like a great solution. Then we put an IBC tote out there to catch the sawdust. About problem solved. But if you're pushing air and sawdust into that tote, anytime you're pushing anything in, something's got to come back out. So to be able to blow all the sawdust in there, you need something, a way for that air to get back out that doesn't let the sawdust out. So it's got to have some kind of a second opening with a screen over it. And I've kind of struggled to figure out the best way to do that. So right now we have it blowing into an open top, and as soon as you put a new tote out there, it's already blowing out. So it's just making a huge mess. So if you have a suggestion for how we can do this, let me know. I've seen people put the entire unit outside and then still use the bags, or have that run into like a 55-gallon drum. I just need to do something better because this is making a mess. I'm going to show you outside. The perfect solution here is that one of you guys tells me a great way to dispose of all this sawdust or to collect it once it gets outside. And then I make a video that's helpful to thousands of other people who are struggling with dealing with sawdust. We've had a few different suggestions, but just nothing I can really settle on as being the best fit for what we have. But I better quit talking and get moving because this windstorm is going to turn into a rainstorm here in a couple hours. Tell you what, if you like land clearing videos, you're going to see a bunch of those when the skid steer comes in. This is all a mess back here. Giant rocks. When we get back there, you will see why I call this Rock Hill Farms. But also, a lot of these older trees are all dead at the top. It all needs cleaned up, so I look forward to getting to that in the spring. But for right now, show you this pit that I dug for the tree stump and then halfway filled back in trying to get the stump out. Now we're going to dig it back out again and use it to get rid of all this wood scrap and materials. That shows how bad my memory is. As I'm digging this out so that I can put sawdust and our ashes in here, I'm hitting sawdust and ashes. I didn't even remember that I'd already done that. So I'm gonna extend it back this way a little more and then just start filling it up. As I watch the footage of me driving across this, I just can't get past how much junk I've got piled everywhere. I've got piles of clay and piles of topsoil and brush piles, and for a while I was hauling in composted fertilizer basically. I've got that piled up, and building materials and firewood I haven't had time to split yet. And it's really just making a big mess. And sometimes I'm guilty of getting so caught up in what I wanted to accomplish that I don't take the time to go back and do the necessary cleanup work. So as soon as this Quonset hut's done, I'm going to have to set in and just clean this area up so it's more accessible to pulling trailers or moving stuff around or whatever we need to do out here. I got a lot of that up, but I'm not gonna get it all today. This weather app says right now it's 40-mile-an-hour wind, and whatever it actually is, it's a lot worse, or it feels worse out here, because for a mile that direction, it's just cornfields and we don't have any wind breaks. So it really whips out here. And they're saying we're gonna get 70-mile-an-hour wind tonight. So I'm gonna go around the property and try to, batten down the hatches. Anything that could get blown away or damaged, try to get it secured before this hits. I appreciate you taking time to watch. If you have any suggestions on the sawdust, let me know. I'll put more of our videos on the screen, and I'll see you next time.